Start saving your orbs. The 1,000-Year Blood War Yamamoto banner should be returning soon. This character right here, considered to be one of the best, if not the best character in the game, is going to be returning soon. Now, we are going to take a look at the album version and what the banner consisted of, so you can get a general idea. I'm not going to include the filler, because I'm not sure if the filler is going to remain the same or not. This is probably going to happen, if I had to guess, probably mid-November. That's my best guess. It could be early November, it could be late November, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be somewhere in mid-November. End of the month, June had the swimsuit banner that we just got a rerun of. And a month later, we got the 1,000-Year Blood War Yamamoto, Aizen, and Yuak banner. That will probably happen, like I said, mid-month November. Now, we're going to start off with the least interesting character in this banner. It's this guy right here. If you want to take a look at what he looks like with this little picture, there you go. Now, the reason why he's the least interesting is because he's a Brave Battle unit, and Brave Battle units tend to not get as much interest by the BBS fan base than PvE-based characters. Although, he is still pretty good. He has Paralyze and Drain, and it's always nice to see that. We can look at the skills. You have Weaken Resistance, 100%, Poise, and Sprinter +1. That means these skills are already active when you get the character. The skills down here, these are the ones that activate once you level them up and actually either use skill keys or raid characters. So, you got the increased strong attack damage by 50%. What? Why does he have strong attack damage 50%? I don't know. Just seems weird. Decreased damage taken 16%. That's the soul trait. Half stamina only. Decreased damage taken by 50%. So that means if he ever gets below half stamina, he's going to be taking 50% less damage. This is a really good skill to have. So if you combine the decreased damage taken 16% and him dropping to below half stamina, that's 66% right there. I believe the cap is 80%. It used to be it didn't have a cap. If you went all the way up to 100% or near 100%, you would basically be taking 1 damage. That used to be a meta for a while for PvE content, where you get the damage decreased or decreased damage taken or DR so high that you'd be taking 1 damage from the hardest content in the game, which is kind of funny. Then you have the Brave Battle only, increased normal attack damage when enemy or ally is KO'd. So that means if you KO an enemy or one of your team members is KO'd, you're going to do 20% more normal attack damage on this character. Now, Brave Battle only, prevent last-ditch survival. So that means there used to be the meta where you would just have like 3 or 4 last-ditch survivals. So basically you knock out the character, destroy the character, and then they'll revive. Then you knock them out again, they'll revive. And they'll do that like 3 or 4 times, and it's really annoying. This prevents that, so that's good. Then you have Ignore Brave Battle Invincibility, which is an ability that stops them from basically taking any damage. So you have Brave Battle Invincibility, which will ignore any damage done to them. I think status ailments still can be inflicted on them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. I know that's the case with the barriers, but I'm not sure if that's the case with Brave Battle Invincibility. So do keep that in mind. So I'm not sure exactly how long the Brave Battle Invincibility lasts. I think it's like 10 seconds. So that means that's 10 seconds. They could be theoretically just beating on you, and you're not doing anything as long as Brave Battle Invincibility is active. Well, this will allow this character to ignore that invincibility and start actually doing damage right from the get-go. So that's a plus. Then you have Flurry +2, which is really good. Debilitator +5 seconds. That means your status ailments will last longer. You have Enhancer, Guard Break, and Booster. I was pretty sure he had Booster. So that means that's going to be really, really good. This is a really good character for Brave Battles. Obviously, he's not the most broken character that have been in the past, where you get them and literally nothing can beat you other than another version of that character. Probably a version of that character that has more max transcendence than you. There was a couple instances of that throughout the Brave Battle history, where you either had that character or you were losing a lot. And that was kind of annoying. And I think that's why they're kind of mixing it up a bit. I'm not sure exactly how healthy it is right now. The Brave Battle community, people who've been playing it for a lot longer, will have a better indication, because I went many months, if not years, not actually doing Brave Battles. Period. That's why I have like 2,000 plus Brave Battle tickets still saved up, even after using like 1,000, 1,500 of them. So, yeah. Then the next character that we're going to go on is 1,000-Year Blood War Aizen. He's one of my favorite characters in the game. Period. I really like using him. Even though he's a bit slow on autoing content, he's safer than some, but he's just really, really fun to use. So you have Gauge effect with a bruiser of 100% and decreased damage taken of 50%. This is really, really good. So basically, when he attacks, his Gauge will go up. And once it gets to 100%, for like 10 seconds or so, he's going to get a bruiser of 100% and decreased damage taken by 50%. That means he's going to be taking 50% less damage. That's huge, and if it triggers at the right time. He has a fire resistance. That means he doesn't have to worry about getting hit by a burn attack or the ground effects that cause burn. He has read all affiliation dodges. That means any enemy that tends to dodge you, it's like, oh, it dodges 50% of the time. Well, if you run into any of those enemies, he's going to hit them. It doesn't matter what affiliation they are. A lot of the other characters out there that have the read dodges usually only specify one affiliation, like human, read human dodges, or read no affiliation dodges, read Soul Reaper dodges, things like that. This reads all of them. So that means he's hitting anyone with a dodge, which is really, really good. And you have Sprinter +1, which, it's normal. And you have the Gauge effect down here as well. Strong attack recharge 30%. So that means he gets an additional 30% strong attack recharge when he goes into his Gauge form, when he reaches 100%. And he has an increased normal attack damage of 60% as a base, not 60 cents. It's kind of, yeah, you get 60 cents every time he attacks with normal attack damage. You got Flurry +1, Debilitator, which, if you scroll up here, that one status effect that he has, it'll last longer. Then you have, here's a pretty good one, and I'll show you why later. Increased status ailment chance against speed attribute enemies. A lot of the enemies you're going to be running with this character are going to be against speed enemies. He has Enhancer and Poise, Multi-Barrier. So that means that shield he has will give you 5 for your character, and I think 3 for the other ones, instead of the 3 and 1, respectively. Then you have Guard Break plus hit hidden enemies, so you don't have to worry about giving him the accessory to hit hidden enemies. But this is a real big one. Status ailment attack boost 80%. That means when you inflict an enemy with status ailment, in which case is weaken, he's going to be doing 80% more attack damage. That means you have, where is it? Increased normal attack damage 60%, stacking with this 80%, which is insane. And then you're also able to afflict it more often because of the fact that, well, at least if you're going up against speed enemies, with this to increase the chances of affecting it. And if you're in the Gauge effect, it's not really that good for here. Or is it? There it is, Bruiser, 100%. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. This is why, he does like hundreds of thousands of damage. And I only got this guy 2 out of 5. I only got attack to 10 and I think focus to 10. So that means he's doing hundreds of thousands of damage with his normal attack string. Like, how much damage is he doing at a full, what do they call it, max transcendence? He's also 20-20-20, so do keep that in mind as well. Like, he's going to get an additional 500 attack. That's insane to think about. And when they eventually add a new form of character progression, that damage will go up higher. I think it's going to happen sometime next year. In 2023, when we get a new form of character progression. The last time we got super potions, which I think was the last form of character progression, was in April or May of 2021. So it's over a year ago. It's like a year and a half ago at this point. And the main reason why you're going to be summoning for the banner, Yamamoto. He has a Quincy Hollow Killer, which Hollow is pretty common. Quincy's probably going to be a lot more common, with the 1,000-Year Blood War coming back. Actually, with the 1,000-Year Blood War anime actually being back. It's unreal that it's actually back. And if you go to here, he has Burn and Weaken, and he has Dodge Hollow damage by 50%. So that means anytime a Hollow tries to attack him, he's going to be dodging their damage 50% of the time. Sprinter +2, which is good. Havoc 20%, that's good. Increase strong attack damage 40%. Reduce strong attack cooldown, which is a soul trait, 12%. Here's where I really this is one of my favorite skills in the game, is shared complete status immunity, because it's really good for not only supporting teammates, like if in co-op you have one of these characters on there getting inflicted with the status ailment, means the other people don't have to worry about it. And he's also immune to the status ailments as well. But that's not why he's so good. Scroll down, he got Frenzy +1, Bombardment +1, which is really good. Debilitator +5 seconds, that means the status elements don't last longer. And you have damage to burning enemies 40% and damage to weakened enemies 40%. So that means if he inflicts both his status ailments, he's doing an additional 40% damage for the burning and an additional 40% damage for the weakened enemies. That's insane. But he's not done yet. He has weakened defense, so on his special, he's going to weaken their defense. That means it's going to do a lot of freaking damage. Because he has weakened defense, the weaken and burn. And this extra damage to burning and weakened enemies. Then you have Marauder, which is, pretty self-explanatory at this point in time. Here's where it gets even better. Status ailment spiritual pressure boost 80%. So that means when you hit them with a when you inflict them with the status ailment, he's getting 80% more spiritual pressure. So if you look here, base 856, he's getting 80% more spiritual pressure when he inflicts a status ailment. That's insane. And on top with the whole damage to burning enemies and damage to weakened enemies +40%, all this is stacking. It's why his nuke is so freaking powerful. It's why people use this guy and went 5 out of 5 for him, even if they spent a ton of freaking orbs to do so, that they could have used on other banners, is because this character is so good that people are still using him for guild quests. Like, on even guild quests that he ain't supposed to do good in, because he doesn't have the right killer or doesn't have the right affiliation, he's still doing a good enough job that they can just use this guy. That's how good he is. So, you might be wondering, is this rerun rerun banner worth summoning for? Yes. Yes, it is. If you did not summon on this banner and you do not have any of these characters, I don't even know what the filler are. This banner is worth summoning on. It is. All 3 characters here are good at what they do. He's good for brave battles. He's good at autoing and survivability. He's pretty much good at everything. He's SP, he's NAD, and he's NAD as well, but a brave battle. So, yeah. I would start saving your orbs because, you got this banner in mid-November probably. Well, if it's not in mid-November, it's probably going to be sometime in November. It's around that time. It might be early, it might be later. It's going to be almost certainly some point in November. And then you got, those individual banners like You that's still going. Ichigo, which is going to be on the 27th. You got Chad if, you're wanting to summon on him for whatever reason, if he's your favorite character or if you want another Brave Battle unit. You got him on the 3rd of November. Then you got, who is it? The end of the month banner, which a lot of people are speculating it's going to be 1,000-Year Blood War. Mainly because it makes sense. They're getting a lot of publicity for the 1,000-Year Blood War anime returning. It'd be weird if they said, yeah, you know the 1,000-Year Blood War, that real hype thing that's going on? You know, instead, here's Safway or Beyond Bankai. It just doesn't make sense. Unless they decide to, you know, maybe do a seasonal 1,000-Year Blood War banner. I mean, maybe like a Halloween-themed, you know, zombie Toshiro or something like that. But I don't see that happening personally, at least not yet. Maybe next year I could see something like that happening. So do keep in mind, yes, this is going to be a must-summon banner. You got mid-month banner that's going to, not mid-month, end-of-the-month banner that's going to have a shared complete status immunity for probably speed. It would be weird if they, I mean, just following the trends that they do. I mean, if we look down here at the end of the year, we had, where is it? Noelle and Nini, plus 5 super potions as potions. Then you had another one, potion character / super potion character right here. And then they finished it off with the swimsuit banner, although that was more spaced out. Here we got shared complete status immunity for anniversary. Then for the same end of the month banner, we got here for Roka, the next end of the month banner, and the last, or I should say second to last, with this 1,000-Year Blood War Ichigo. The only one we're missing is Speed, almost certainly going to be at the end of this month. So if you're collecting the shared complete status immunity characters like I am, that's another banner to save for. And I'm unsure what they're going to do with this. If we're going to get another Yuryu who has plus 5 potion, plus 5 super potion, and plus 30% drop increase. So do keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of interesting banners between now and the end of the year. And I think I covered pretty much anything. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.